What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm with J and we are locked in. This is BMF episode 6. It's that time of the week that we get to see what Meech and T are getting into. We know last week they went ahead and kidnapped Zoe. We seen Lamar's on a rampage because, hey, he would do anything in the world to get his daughter back. And it looked like Slick is the one that got her back. But before we get into this episode, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel and you want to be a part of it, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. So the war is starting to begin because we know Lamar is not just going to let this fly. He had to give back the stash and the money and the drugs. Oh, yeah. You know what? It's on now. So let's jump into it. This is BMF episode 6. The ambition of getting money past the king of the D. I wanted it so when we spread our wings, we could go anywhere we wanted without being seen. Big Meech. Now, unfortunately, they went wherever they went, but they were seen clearly. We start off the episode with Big Meech thinking back about him being in school. He's in a special class, but that's just because he didn't do any work. So he's saying being in the streets is no difference in school. You're going to be out there. You're going to learn some stuff. Now, you are going to run from the police a little bit, but that's just like participating in PE class because you just got through with chemistry in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Meech pulls up to the store. You got a crew of kids out here. He calling the little one Lil Curly. He's like, nah, man, I'm 12 now. It's just Curly. Hey, but could you get us a 40? And Meech is like, man, y'all young bucks don't get out of here. I'll get y'all some pop or something. So as Meech goes in the building, the kids are looking. They're like, oh, man, we got to get out of here. So that only means one thing. Trouble is around the corner. When I tell you it was trouble, it was the trouble we weren't looking for. Meech is coming out talking about, yeah, kids, I got these pops for y'all. And he looks up. He done froze like a deer in headlight. Lamar got that shotgun. We already know Lamar isn't the one to play with. He came around with that shotgun, but luckily for Meech, 2 random guys came out of nowhere and they started firing on Lamar. So, you know, at the Revolutionary War, no one knows who really fired the official first shot. Well, we see out here Meech's people did, even though the first shot was kind of thrown when Lamar disrespected Meech and tried to run him over. But the first physical shot, I'm talking about bullet, was from Meech's camp. Meech and T start going over what are their plans to move their family up out the house because now they feel like the block is hot. We can't be out here. Lamar knows where we're at. We don't know where our dad lives. So that's what the plan is. We need to figure out how we're going to get all of them out of the house so everyone could be safe. But in the meantime, we got these 5 bricks that they had in the shelf with a false wall in front of it. So they got to figure out what they're going to do with this. Meech, on the other hand, he's talking about let's break it down. Let's split it up, you know what I'm saying, the halves and then in the quarters. And then I'm going to go link up with Tiny and he hooked me up with his cousin Q on the north side and we can expand. But T, he's not trying to do all that. What he wants to do is get the family taken care of first. And plus, he's getting a new plug from Big L. But he just doesn't want to wholesale it at this point because he doesn't, you know, he doesn't think that that's where they need to be at. Meech goes to the radio store to meet up with Q. The Q is the new plug from the north. That's Tiny's cousin. Now, when he gets in there, Q is kind of testing him. He just, you know, they're making reference to the store just in case anyone's listening. He's trying to see how cool Meech is going to play it. So Meech is telling him anything you want, we got it, man. If you see it, we got it. And if we don't got it, we can get it for you. So he's looking at him. And what he tells Meech is, you know, you're young. And, you know, y'all getting the problems that he can't afford at this moment, meaning he doesn't want to put his, you know what I'm saying, put his work out there, put his name out there when he hearing bad things about Meech in the streets. So he tells Meech, I'm not going to buy from you right now. I'm not saying it's a never, but I just took this meeting out of respect for my cousin Tiny. But, you know, there's no deal or nothing here. If we cross paths, then we'll make it happen. So Meech is thinking, dang, what'll I do, man? You know what I'm saying? I got to get this connect. We see T go back to school. He hasn't been in class that much. He hasn't really been doing his homework like he was doing before he got shot. When he gets up here, he asks his teacher, hey, is there any way you can get me into a little college fair thing, you know, as a student? But the teacher's going over a list of academic qualifications. Like, man, this is only for juniors or seniors. And bruh, you ain't been coming to school. I can't get you in there as a student. But what I can do, you know, I can get you in. I'll let you meet my old roommate who, you know, is at Western Michigan. And we can see where we can go from there. But be there, T. So he's like, all right, cool. I'll take this opportunity because any opportunity is better than none. T still wants to get this education. You remember his pops, Charles, was always like, we got to get T into college, but T in the streets. As T is leaving the school, guess who's outside waiting? Lamar with that damn shotgun. He's just waiting for his opportunity. He's gonna get somebody. But when T comes outside, he has a little crew around him. He got security waiting on him outside. So Lamar is upset because this was an opportunity to go ahead and get at least one of them out the game. Meech is trying to talk to his mom. We seen that she heard that both of her sons are involved in the street last week. She broke that glass in the hallway. So she's locked herself in a room and she hasn't came out in days. Meech is just trying to get in there and talk to her. And you can even hear the little sister like she won't come out. Now mama, Lucille, she took a picture of both her boys. She threw it at the door talking about she don't want nothing. She's just in there hurt. I did a video on her losing her sons and it looks like she's trying to, separate herself from them even though she loves them. But Meech has a plan. We get to see a little bit of Pastor Swift. Now he's in the back talking to Tiny. Tiny got that weed and Pastor's like, oh wait, yo, Tiny, you can't be running them girls up in here and you can't be having that weed up in here. So pretty much what he's telling them is you can have all that in here, but keep the noise down, keep the smell down. Oh, and let me get some money, you know what I'm saying? Because I have a big church to take care of. So what he's doing is getting money from him. We knew Swift was a little bit crooked. Charles comes to drop off some food at the church. Pastor Swift comes out and hands him a $5 bill talking about, that's all I got, brother, but the church thanks you. We just seen you get about $200, Pastor Swift. Where that money at? But Charles like, hey, I'm not here for money. I'm just doing the Lord's work. And they kind of, have a little back and forth. Pastor Swift gives him a fake pastor talking about Peter 24. He shall pay what he owe. Charles like, hey, man, that don't go like that. Hey, I'm just testing you, brother. But in comes Meech and tells Charles, hey, we got to go, man. It's mom. So I want to know a little bit more about Pastor Swift. Oh, yeah, it's time for the moment of truth. Charles comes down in the kitchen and, these are still his kids. So they sitting in there. He talking to T and Meech is like, well, Dad, he's like, shut up. Is your name Terry? And now T got to admit, yeah, mom heard that, I was selling drugs with Meech and I've been in the streets and I've been living in your house. So Charles flips out talking about, man, y'all bringing drugs to my house. And you hear Meech say, well, you really haven't been around. That just pissed Charles off even more. So now he's like, what are y'all doing that's going to make me have to move my family out of the house I built with my hands? And they talking about it serious. And of course, the little sister, everybody looks at her. There was a guy at the mall we got into it with, Dad. He was making it rain in there. T ain't do nothing. I don't know who he was, but he looked intimidating, Pops. Lamar pulls up to the block and tells the whole crew, hey, look, we going after the Flennory boys. And now we know Tiny, he's doing work with Meech. So he's like, man, that's your personal problem. We ain't got no problem with Meech. So Lamar's acting tough, like, man, y'all can do what I say. That's when things take a left. I wasn't expecting this. We seen it in the trailer. Tiny pulls his gun out on him. Everybody else pulls their gun out on him. Like, nah, Lamar, we ain't running things the way you talking about. Now, Slick, we know he's loyal. We seen what he went through to get Zoe back. So he steps up to Tiny and says, I got a gun too. Everybody it's just gonna be me and you dead out here also. So it's what you want to do. But luckily, Detective Brian pulls up and breaks all this up because it looked like it was about to get real ugly between the 12th Street boys. Detective Brian starts talking to Lamar like, hey, man, there's bodies coming up out here. You know what I'm saying? We're going to need some answers for this. Now, Lamar's talking about, man, I'm clean because he made him assume the position. But this is just so he could talk to him and let him know I still have this power over you, Lamar. And Lamar's like, look, I'm a changed man. I ain't got nothing to do with none of these bodies. But one thing that Detective Brian points out is stupid always gets caught. Meaning 9 times out of 10, matter of fact, 9.99 times out of 10, these criminals that are doing this and catching these bodies and moving their work, you're going to get caught. It's just going to take you to do one thing to mess you up and throw you off the game. So Detective Brian, he's in these streets. And I told you one thing he could do is set Lamar up by putting the diamond on Lamar and arresting him for the J-Mo murder. That would be one way to get him out of all this nonsense. Charles comes to talk to T and he wants to figure out, what did y'all do to make us leave? Now T's looking at him and he wants to tell the truth, but at the same time he doesn't, because he's already know how he made his mom feel and he know his dad's gonna be upset. Meech doesn't live here, but he keeps finding his way over there. He got a key and everything. He just pops up and Charles like, what are you doing here? He said, you know what? You're gonna come back when you're ready. And Meech is talking about, you want me to leave? Charles is just, he's in over his head at this point. These two knuckleheads gonna do what they want to do, so he really don't have any control, and he ain't been staying at the house, so he really ain't got too much say, even though it is his house. T comes and tells Meech, Hey, bro, I ain't tell Pops anything. But now we need to get back to business and figure out what we're going to do with these 5 bricks. Now, what T's plan is to go back to selling 50s. We put it out in the streets. We make it work. And, we start giving some other people, you know what I'm saying? We branch out a little bit. But if we move 50s, we can move it all. Now, Meech, on the other hand, he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to break it down into 50s. He wants to move bricks. So he's like, let's give D Mickey 1. And then we keep 2, you keep 2, there go to 5. And T is like, give him a brick. And Meech is trying to say he's been down with us from the start. But T still doesn't, he still doesn't want to give that responsibility to B Mickey, especially after he killed J-Mo. So he's showing he's reckless. But Meech is like, man, let's just do it this way, man. Let's just do it this way. Shut up, T, and let's do it this way. Lamar is heated. He didn't get a chance to get T earlier. He didn't get a chance to get Meech before that. And 12th Street turned their back on him. So he's upset with Tiny. So he's in here frustrated. And we know Slick is always going to try to keep Lamar cool. And he's telling him, hey, man, you got to chill, bro. We'll eventually turn off their water. And when he does that, he starts giving an analogy. You turn off the heat and give him a blanket. You cut off the electricity. You can light a match and, light a candle. But if you turn on somebody's water, they can't wash their ass. They can't wash up. They can't drink. They can't do nothing. It's over. And Lamar's like, you know what? I like that plan. But if this doesn't go right and I can't fix things with Mo, Meech and Terry won't be the only one with their water turned off. So he's giving the threat to our boy Slick. And Slick is like, hey, man, I'm on your side, bro. I stood up for you today when it was 12 guns on you. It was me right there. T goes over to meet up with B Mickey because he has to give him a brick. Now, Kato's over here with B Mick. And no one knows that these two are messing around. So when T knocks, they like, oh, shit, go hide, go hide. T comes in with them bricks and he has to give D Mickey 1. And he's talking about, I'm going to show you love on this price. But what he also gives B Mickey is his 2 bricks. So now B Mickey has 3 and he's talking about, hey, I'm going to need you to move those for me too. Because, T ain't really out here. And plus he has a new plug, so he can't really be dealing with this. That's why he said he wanted to branch out. Because if they bring in that new plug, there's not going to be any point for him to do the smaller stuff when he's bringing in the big weight. But when he walks out, they dap each other up and he looks and he sees Kato's jacket right here on the couch. He doesn't put 2 and 2 together, but he notices it before he walks out. Kato comes out the back. They see B Mickey's skinny tail with these big ass boxers on. She talking about, I guess somebody came up. He like, yeah. So, man, she about to be using B Mick. He gonna think he bigger than the game because he got 3 bricks. Man, don't get caught up in this mess. We can't even trust Kato like that. And B Mick thinking he the man now. Our boy Lamar is really losing it at this point. That's why everybody was like, oh, man, he was in a mental home. And I said he was in jail. He got locked up for 2 years. He went to a mental home. But I say he went to jail because this mental hospital, whatever meds that they were giving him, it didn't work. It was just a vacation. He should have been in jail because this dude is not rehabilitated or nothing. So he's trying to get back in Mo's house. He's like, come on, please, baby, please. And she's like, I'll get a restrainer. And that nigga just wild out. He reaching through the bars, grabbing on her. She yelling and stuff. I told you, any man that wears this do-rag and just ties it in the back but has an afro with no line, don't trust him because Lamar is on some other mess. Lamar flipping out. He yanking on the bars, banging on the door. You got me looking like a crazy motherfucker. Now you got yourself looking crazy out here. I know if I had to live next door and looked out that window, oh, hell no, man. That dude back over here, nah, lock the door, put the chair up under the handle so he can't come over here. But in the window, we see little Zoe and she's looking out and she's crying because he's out here acting a damn fool. B Mick and Terry, they busting these bricks down because they about to get the whole crew some packs. Now they talking about this guy D. They don't know if he should get none because he's halfway retarded. So they like, we don't know if we should give him that work. But T's like, man, everybody has to do it. We got to start branching out. So they call him in. And everybody, they happy. Finally, we get to make some money. So what they really are, independent contractors. Y'all come get the work from me. Y'all sell it. Y'all want to make some money. You'll be on the block more selling this work. So now we done branched out. Instead of it just being T and Meech, we got 5 different people moving their own work. And then y'all come back to me. So this is making them their own boss if they can flip all that. In the middle of busting down bricks, T forgot he has to go to this college fair. When he gets there, he meets the guy, the admissions for Western Michigan University. And this guy is kind of giving him interview questions, but he wants T to be calm and, and be relaxed. This isn't an admissions interview. I'm just trying to get to know a little bit more about you. So he asks, what is something that was hard for T to prep for? He was like, well, prepping for this, I had my classwork and then I had to get up and, be ready for this also. But he had a flashback of him putting in blood, sweat and tears, digging that body for, our boy Rock. Then the next one is, what is something hard you had to overcome? And he starts thinking about when he lied to his mom and then she found out that he was lying about being in the game. So for him, it's all, we know with him, everything builds up with his mental. So even when his daughter was getting her christening, he was thinking about this. So we know for him, at least, that stuff stays on his mind. This is the first time Tiny and Meech seen each other after he set him up with his cousin Q. Now he's saying, Tiny, I gave you a brick so you could become the man, but you flaked on me with your plug, your cousin. And he's like, hey, man, my cousin, he just heard some stuff about you in the street, so he changed his mind. But Meech is telling him straight up, look, if you don't get that right, then what me and you got, it's going to be a problem. So, hey, it's not a threat. It's a promise. You said you was going to set me up with a plug. Let's make it happen. So Tiny's realizing he already took Meech's advice and turned his back on Lamar from 12. They trying to get him up out of there. But he's going to need that work because if he ain't got no money coming in, those people ain't going to be loyal to him. They're going to go right back to Lamar. Charles and Lucille are finally having a conversation about their boys. We know T is in the game. We know Lucille heard all this. So for her, she's feeling like, hey, all is lost. But what Charles wants to do is he figures they can still save T. They take the money from the hospital and put him in school in the South somewhere. Lucille is saying that won't work because ever since T has been born and brought into this world, he's been at the hip of Meech. He sees his big brother and he wants to stay around him. So he's not going to do anything but come back here. Charles is saying that's our best bet. We get T out of here and Meech, we just going to have to cut Meech as a loss because I don't think we can save him. Do you really think we can save him, Lucille? And she's trying to because it's still her son. But deep down inside, she knows Meech may be too far gone. And Charles, he's being realistic about this. It's at the expense of one of his sons. Now, Kato, she got a bag. She's out here making money with her little crew now. This young boy here talking about, man, we hungry, man. We got to eat. And Kato's like, all right, we're going to go get some conies. We're going to make a run. Now, her assistant's like, hey, we can't be feeding these kids, man. They supposed to be out here working. Now, when they leave, this little guy goes around the back. He's about to re-up a little bit out the backpack. But guess who shows up? That good brother Lamar. And he's talking about, hey, I want all the action. I want everything you got in that bag right there, or I'm going to whoop your ass. So Lamar, he's back in the streets by himself, solo. If that's what it takes, you want to get a job done, it's best to do it yourself. And Lamar is putting boots on ground, and he's out here, and he's trying to make things happen. Now, Lamar done got to work. They got to come back and explain this to T. Yeah, T, man, everything in the book bag, it gone now. T's like, look, we just been out here just a day. I just gave y'all this work at 11 a.m. and y'all talking about y'all already got robbed. D, this is on you. Now, D, he's kind of, trying to stand up for himself, which is a bad idea in this situation. D talking about, why you mad at us when the person that did this is still out there? And Kato saying, I thought you said we could run our organization how we wanted to run it. T is like, y'all tripping. You thought wrong, mother effers. And I'm mad at y'all because you talking about the guy that did it is still out there, but you in here. Why you ain't out there going after it then, tough guy? Yeah, because you know who took it and you scared to go get him. If you that tough, you go out there and you go get my stuff tonight. That's what I would have told him if I was T, but I ain't in the game. This time, Meech is the one calming T down. He takes him into the kitchen. Hey, chill, bro. They took that work, but we ain't the 50 boys no more. So that little stuff don't really mean nothing. But T is saying it's about the integrity of our name. It's 50 boys. And Meech says we not that no more. We graduated. We getting bricks now. We ain't got to worry about that. We used to get like one key from Pat, but now we got 5 of them things. Chill. And T is saying, well, what are we then? Because Lamar is the one that took our stash. So Meech says, you know what? We can put all this on me. And this is to get Lamar to come after him. And T said, man, you don't want that. He might try you again. But Meech knows the details about how 12th Street turned their back on Lamar. So he's by himself. And he shows his strap like, hey, if Lamar runs up on me, I'm going to lay him down. So I'm telling y'all, the war is beginning. But it's going to be kind of hard for Lamar because he's by himself. But at the same time, that means he can move without being seen. Karen, the lawyer, comes over because Charles is saying, you know what? We want to take that $25,000 settlement from the hospital. It's correct. It was $25,000, right? 25,000. And Karen says, oh, that offer's off the table. I told y'all that it was a time limit to it. Y'all wasn't paying no attention. You lost your appetite. You didn't want to hang out with the kids where we would have went over all of the terms of the contract, but you didn't want it. You didn't accept that agreement. So now he's putting it on Pastor Swift, talking about, we got this rookie lawyer in here. She says, you know what? My assistants will send my rescind statement. I will not represent you guys anymore. Because now he disrespected her when she was doing her job, but no one in the house was paying any attention to it because they said 25 ain't enough. And he's like, 25 is. Hey, well, now y'all getting zero. Y'all might have to take this to trial. B, Mickey, and Kato, they getting close. He keeps cleaning this gun and he telling her it's kind of, this gun is like family to him. It's protected him from a couple of occasions. It's getting him in the game. Now, T also asked him, did he get rid of the gun that he killed J-Mo with? And I'm thinking this may be that same gun. He talking about, yeah, I tossed it in the river. But Kato hears him doing all this with the gun. So she's like, I'm going to go to the house and get some clothes because, I'm funky. I told y'all she got up and she be going straight to the house smelling like straight ass and sex. So B. Mickey says, I'll roll with you. I can't let something like that go. And then he asks the silly question. What are we? You know what I'm saying? You not catching feelings? And she's saying, nah, man, we need some more time before we get into that conversation. Just play it cool, man. You don't need to be dating her anyway. You need to be focused on these streets because at any given moment, someone can run up to your house and you over here worrying about love. You need to be worried about your life. Little sis getting her groove on too. She got a young boy named Darius. He comes over and you can tell he's nervous. We all been there. They probably were like middle school, elementary, something like that. Probably like 5th, 6th grade. And he's like, yeah, my dad said I need to treat you like the child of God that you are. And I think it's time for us to kiss. As soon as he get ready to get his first kiss, T come in talking about, Darius, you a good kid, but get the fuck out of here. So him and his sister, they start having a little disagreement. He's telling her, hey, you can't be having no dudes in here. But she's trying to tell T, I hate it here. It's like a jail. Your guards outside, they keep watching and spying on us. And he's like, it's not going to be too much longer. But that's their job, to make sure that you're safe. So, kids, they don't really understand what's going on. She was just like, okay. And she went to her room. Slick's in the house and he's looking around the room because Lamar ain't here. But then he starts hearing some singing. And when he goes up front, he sees Lamar playing the arcade game. And Lamar tells him, yeah. I tried to get Mo back. It ain't work. She turned off my water. Now, we were supposed to be turning off Meech's water, not Mo turning off his water. So at this point, Slick is like, uh-oh, let me get about this house because Lamar is singing and he's going a little cuckoo, cuckoo. Slick runs in the room, tries to pack up a bag real quick. Lamar comes in and stabs him up a little bit. I'm like, dang. Slick was the only one that's loyal too, but Slick was telling him, yeah, man, we got to put more pressure on him. That'll be good. But if we do too much pressure, it'll be, it'll be a lot of eyes back on us. Lamar ain't trying to hear none of that. Shanks him up, sits down in the seat and just lets Slick bleed out in the living room. I'm like, damn, Lamar ain't got no love for anybody. B. Mick goes with Kato to her house to pick up some clothes. And I told y'all a couple of episodes ago, he should have been asking, why you live in this junky ass house? That's what I want to know. She got clothes hanging up in the living room, like the entrance door. So she takes the clothes and stuff into the back. Our boy B. Mick, he starts snooping around and he sees a note. And he picks it up and puts it in his pocket, but he looks at it kind of funny. Now, I'm thinking this note could be something from Lamar or saying like, hey, blah, 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 I was at your house. We don't know what it says yet, but that's what I'm thinking. It's probably going to be some kind of connection to Lamar. But he sees a postcard of an area in Detroit. And she's like, yeah, I've been there before. We should go meet up there tonight and have dinner. So he's slowly falling into this trap. But he's going to have to confront Kato eventually on whatever he found. Meech, he finally meets up with Tiny. Now, Tiny owes him on, making sure everything is right with his cousin Cute. Now, they in here, they shooting dice. And Meech, he had to let it be known he got some bread. Now, they talking about, all right, let's see what you can do, 50 boy. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do 5 for the next one. He's like, 500? He said, nah, we do thousands in here. So Meech was saying, hey, he pulled out money. He probably put about 25, 30,000 down. He's like, nah, all right, we talking thousands? Let's get it. He out there, he breaking them. And he Tiny talking about, man, yeah, that's too rich for me, bruh. So Meech out here, he collecting some funds, though. But this is making his second impression on the OG that, hey, I may be young, but I'm in this game and I got some paper. After he breaks him at the dice table, he goes and talks to Q. And Q says, I ain't changed my mind on working with you or anything. You know what I'm saying? I just see you getting some money. Now, Meech is saying, look, I know you the gateway to the D, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to expand. You betted against me and I won. So that was just a test. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You put your money against me and I proved you wrong. So if you put your money with me, I'm going to prove you wrong again. You think I can't handle this because I'm young? We can make it happen. So he asked Meech, you want to take over the world? He said, nah, just the D first. Then we'll worry about the world. Because you know, at BMF, the world is BMF's. But that's later on in Atlanta. So he tells Meech, all right, let's get this money together then. So we got us a new little connect, you know what I'm saying? Someone we can drop it off to, pause. T gets home and both his parents are sitting in the room. It's time that they have that talk with him about how long he been in the game. He's like, ever since Meech was. And she's like, why? Now he's trying to be rational about the situation, saying we came out of poverty. It's the difference between Levi's and whatever kind of jeans he said. I could assume that they were trash. They would be equivalent to you buying some jeans from like Gen X or something nowadays. But he's saying people are going to get high. It might as well be me getting, you know what I'm saying? Might as well be us making money off of it. She's like, boy, is you stupid. You're selling drugs. He's like, but I'm making enough to pay 3 mortgages. This ain't what they trying to hear. And you know, Charles always got something to say. He's like, I ain't never sold no drugs in my life. And T's looking at him like, bruh, y'all work 4 jobs, man. And y'all can barely afford this place. Lucille pretty much breaks it down for him, bruh. The path you on, we're trying to save you from it. But if you don't listen to us, it's going to be a long road for you. And we know how that road ultimately ends. It's either dead or in jail. But she was trying. But when they this deep in the game, I mean, there is turning back right now, but for most, it ain't. Tiny, he leaves shooting dice with the boys. He got him a nice young thing come through with him. So, hey, you know what time it is. It's grown man time. He taking her in there. They about to get it on. But when he sits down on the couch, he's like, man, what the? She starts screaming because it's all kind of, what is it? What is this on my hands? Lamar then drug Slick's 6'4" body over here and threw him in the back of Tiny's Tiny's couch. Lamar is sending a message. Hey, it's either with me or you against me. And you pulled that gun on me, so I'm coming for you, Tiny. T comes in to the record store that they bought, and he tells the crew, look, we're no longer the 50 boys. We're not doing that small stuff no more. I'm gonna let y'all go out and do your own thing. So when I give y'all a pack, that's on y'all to sell. As long as you bring me back my money, I don't care how you do it. So it's no more 50 boys. And you hear one of them say, cool, at least we can't get scoped out. But now they need to come up with a new name because they not the 50 boys no more. But what they can do is if they give them that work, y'all can go and make a little bit money on the side. And you can still, as long as you bring us back our money, we don't care what you do with it. But they coming up with some whack names. Meech comes in, he says, why don't we call ourselves the family? B Mickey comes over and they like, okay, that's cool. Saki puts on some music. But B Mick, he talks to Meech and he's like, hey man, I'm supposed to be part of this 3. Y'all excluding me. And Meech is saying, look, we bought the radio store, you were MIA. We're not punishing you. I'm giving you your own work. So the work I'm giving you, you can make money on the side. Say if I give you something for 10, all you got to do is bring me, you know what I'm saying? I'm letting it go for the low for you. All you got to do is bring me back 10. Everything else, you get to keep. So he's telling Mickey, the structure of our crew is still me, T, then you. But you hired in everybody and you going to be my dog for life. AKA, look, B Mick, as long as you're loyal to me, I'm going to look out for you. I'm going to put you in position that you can win. You may not be making as much money as us, but you're going to be making a lot of money. And B Mick is like, all right. Now, I think he is agreeing with this and he's going to go along with it. Meech goes to holler at T and T brings up a valid point. The reason he didn't want to give B Mick a brick is because then B Mickey would think that he's on the same level as him. And he's trying to tell Meech he's not. It's you and me and then they're up under us. We just seen how B Mickey came over there talking about, yeah, man, y'all feeling like y'all leaving me out because he thinks he's part of the big 3. You're Meech's boy. Meech is the boss. You his boy, but you his right hand man outside of his brother. You just got to play that road. You got to understand you're not an equal. Hey, as long as you're loyal to him, you still ahead of everybody else. And T is just saying that's why we can't give him his own bricks. And I gave him my bricks. So it seemed like he's working with us, but he's not an equal. So he's technically working for us. T asked Meech, does he think that B Mickey and Kato are messing around? Because they're close to each other in the store. And I told y'all, he doesn't need to be worried about this. He needs to be worried about the street life. Because that's more important than getting some, some vajayjay. You can get that from any old girl. Now, when they leave, she's talking about, why'd you stand me up? Now, B Mickey, you got to understand, he's upset about his relationship with Meech and them and not being an actual third member of the top. So he's talking to Kato, and you remember that note? He pulls it out. He's like, yeah, who's this other guy you been messing with, huh? Maybe you need some more time. And the letter says, quit ducking. Talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Need to talk to me. And it says me at the end, but we know that means Lamar. Quit ducking. We need to talk. Me. So it was Lamar, because he's like, Kato, where you at? So B Mickey, he's in his feelings, thinking it's somebody else. And are you just using me for sex? That's all you wanted? I thought you was feeling me. And she's trying to say, nah, it's my ex. He's hitting me up about drug money. I'd be like, drug money? Whoa. How you owe a nigga some drug money when you working for us? What drugs you got outside of us? That's the first thing he should have been asking. But instead, he's thinking with his heart and his feelings. And he's like, wait, did he hurt you? You thinking about the wrong things, brother. First, you need to stop messing with her, because now you're putting yourself in jeopardy. If this dude is breaking into her house and putting notes and, spying on her, that means he's probably watching you too. But hey, you know what I'm saying? These youngins, they think with their heart, but not with their mind. I'd be like, hey, hop about the whip, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell Meech about this. You owe a nigga some money. And no B Mickey telling Meech that she owes somebody money is snitching, because what he's doing is keeping the integrity of the organization and showing Meech that, hey, I may not be one of the top 2 or top 3, but I'm loyal to the crew. Yeah, I was banging Kato, but I found out some information. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody out here she owe money to. But that ain't what he's doing. He's thinking with his heart. Lee lights up a J talking about, man, we both need someone we can trust in here. Well, this is not the woman to trust. These two love birds that are in puppy love, they kiss each other, but little sis stops them because security's watching. So they run off and they do exactly what they aren't supposed to do. You have security following you for a reason. Now, they're going to run off to the arcade and try to lose the security. But one thing we know is Lamar's out here. And if these two run off by themselves, we know for sure they're going to be an easy come up. Lamar's out here and he has no cares in the world. He done killed his best friend Slick. I won't even call them best friends, but his closest associate. Yeah. So these two, we gonna see. What I tell you, easy come up. So they run off from security. She talk about, let's try that kiss again. And guess who pulls up? Lamar. He hops out. Hey man, something's wrong with your brother. We gotta go. And she like, wait, you the guy from the mall. Darius tried to play a hero, step up and save this young girl, and he got stabbed. I'm talking about Lamar gave him the business. But no one ever talks about the man that steps up and gets his ass whooped or killed for trying to save somebody. It's always, she got away. This kid, Darius, a good kid, a God-fearing kid, lost his life trying to save a little girl. You think Meech and them gonna pay for his funeral? They might, but I guarantee they don't want to. Now she's running off talking about help. Security all out of breath. He was smoking that cigarette. What happened? She Lamar. So he ain't trying to go over there and fight Lamar one-on-one. So he gonna probably grab her and like hold her like, yeah, let me get you to safety. Cause he ain't trying to go over there and get no shootout with Lamar. Cause Lamar is prepared to die. Darius grabs on Lamar's leg. Lamar's like, hey, bro, I gotta go. Stabs him again and then just hops in his car and drives off. Damn, R.I.P. Darius. My boy had 3 lines in this episode. This older lady runs over here and she's looking at the body. She's not touching him or helping out or nothing. She's like, hey, somebody call the police. Won't your ass go call the police? You ain't doing nothing. You just watching this kid hold another kid in the middle of the street. You talking about call the police. Take your ass in the house and call the police. You were the adult on the scene. Ain't no one got no cell phone out here. There you go. Episode 6 of BMF. What do you think is going to happen with everyone getting their own packs? You think that B Mickey's going to go ahead and make things happen and try to work his way up? Or is he going to branch out and do his own thing since he's getting his work now? Let me know what you all think. I'm J. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you tune in Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably start about 9:15 for the live stream of BMF After Show for episode 6. I'm J. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.